YouTube video debating anyone. There's a reason for that. Because I don't debate anyone. How's that for cause and effect, right? Often in a debate, the premise is two or more people stand up in front of you and they bring issues to the table and they argue them, and the crowd is listening. Maybe they're indifferent, maybe they lean one way or another, and you see if their points of view change throughout the conversation. And the winner of the debate is the person who may be more articulate, or in some cases who's better looking, or who is more entertaining, or who is more honed in their capacity to present an argument. In science, that's not what establishes a truth. What establishes a truth is not how good you argue, it's what does the evidence show. And when you ever see scientists arguing with one another, it's because there's insufficient evidence to solve the argument. So we can argue forever, but at the end of the day, we're going to walk out hand in hand, exploring ways we can get better data so we can stop arguing. And it won't matter to us who wins. The winner is nature, not either you or me. Now, when I speak very carefully. Whatever it may sound like to you, I hardly ever express opinions. It may not feel that way when I'm speaking, but if you unpack the words that come out of my mouth, hardly ever is there an opinion. And if there is, I just say, here's my opinion. And you know something? I don't care if anyone shares my opinions on anything. It's a free damn country. Have whatever the hell opinion you want. And I'm not going to try to change your opinion. I don't care. But as an educator, I care that you understand objective truths about this world. Can I give the best example of this? And then we'll call it a night. I was walking around, I saw a t-shirt someone was wearing that had a quote of mine. Here's the quote. God is an ever-receding pocket of scientific ignorance. Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I said, did I really say that? That's a pretty strong sentence. That's an in-your-face, atheistic sentence. And I didn't remember saying that. And I looked in the record and I said, oh, actually I did say that. But I know when I communicate, that's not how I communicate. So I looked at the full transcript. Believe it or not, that sentence is completely out of context. You might say, there's no way I'm taking that sentence out of context. Those words mean what they say. Here's what I actually said. I was being interviewed, and the person said, what do you say to people who look at dark matter and dark energy, the mysteries of science, and say, maybe that's the spirit of God? What do you tell them? Or we don't know what was around before the Big Bang, so maybe God was there. So I say, you know, that is a long tradition. There's a history of this. In the history of inquiry, whenever people came to a precipice, here's what I understand and here's what I don't understand. It was common for people to invoke God. Let's go back to Ptolemy, one of the pioneers of the geocentric universe. He got that wrong, but he was nonetheless brilliant, and it was an influential idea that got people thinking. He looked up at the night sky, watched the planets go forward and then backwards. What the hell is that? What's going on? This retrograde. What is this? He would write in the margin of his manuscript, of his greatest work called Almagest, named by the Arabs, by the way. Almagest, when his manuscript made it to Baghdad. He wrote in the margin, when I trace at my pleasure the windings to and fro of the heavenly bodies, I no longer touch earth with my feet. I stand in the presence of Zeus himself and take my fill of ambrosia. He was basking in the majesty of God. In his religion, it was Zeus. God was there, maneuvering the plane. He didn't understand it, really, but nobody really understood it. That's where God resided. So I said, this exercise has gone out for 1,000 years. But any time that has happened, as science has moved on, we found answers to some of these mysteries. We found answers to most of those mysteries. So, if your understanding of God, this is the if statement, if your understanding of God is that your God lurks where science has yet to tread, and you are content in that as your understanding of God, then God is an ever-receding pocket of scientific ignorance. That's what I said. That is an unassailably true statement. Don't say, I want to debate you on that. That is not a debatable statement. It's an if-then statement. I am not even in that sentence. I don't want to ever be in a sentence. I don't want anyone to ever say, this is true because Tyson said so. I would have failed in my educational mission if you have to invoke my name to give confidence in what it is you say is true. Because as an educator, it's my task to equip you with the methods and tools of inquiry and insights into how and why things are true. So when someone asks you, why is it this way? You can give that answer, and I am nowhere to be found in that conversation. So I don't express points of view that you're going to say, well, that's what you think, but I think something different. No, it's not what I do. So if you want to know how to win an argument with me, the way to do that is to misquote me. My Isaac Newton tweet. That's not a debatable tweet. It's true. Did I tell you what I tweeted the next day after that tweet hit 81,000? Did I tell you what I tweeted the next day? I said, there were calls for me to delete the tweet from the Twitterverse. To delete an objectively true tweet that did not express an opinion. It is not an opinion that Isaac Newton's work before he turned 30 transformed civilization. He would lay the foundation for the industrial frickin' revolution, okay? This is not Neil Tyson's opinion, all right? So, calls to take it down. I said, well, how am I going to respond to this? Because I'm not out here to make fights. I'm here to just enlighten you. So the next day I said, I dream of a world where people are enlightened by objective truths rather than are offended by them. Thank you, San Francisco. Thank you for coming. Drive safely. Thank you, Sex Shop staff, for the introduction.
Now you know why he's the man.